All right, everyone, welcome to today's webinar. We're going to be going over all things specifically with Easter planning with Breeze. So I hope you are ready and excited. Easter is not too close, so you don't have to worry about stressing out about that.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah, yeah. It's 4 weeks away. So if you have showed up for this webinar to do exactly that, learn how to use Breeze for your Easter planning, you have plenty of time to start practicing, implementing all the things that we're going to go over today. Specifically, we're going to be going over service planning and communication in regards to Easter planning with Breeze. So what do you say, Drew? You want to just hop on in?
Yeah.
Over?
As you're coming in, just if you could let us know where you're from and what's the weather like out there, wherever it is that you're from. Joey, you're up in the Pacific Northwest, correct?
Yeah, Seattle proper. And right now we have a little sunshine, which I will take. A little bit,
Yeah.
I'll take. I'll take it all.
And I'm in Southern California, right outside of Palm Springs, so it's a good 60, high 60s, low 70s. So I'm enjoying
That's
that
a
during the winter.
that's a normal summer day in Seattle. Not jealous at all.
Definitely, definitely.
All right. Well, yeah, throw where you're from and the weather. That would be great to hear from you. And again, thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us now, we're going to be going over Easter planning with Breeze, specifically service planning and communication. So let's go ahead and hop on in. First of all, uh, Drew and I serve on the customer service team here at Tithely, and just want to quickly go over our values here at Tithely. For those of you who maybe are new and you aren't aware of these, this is just really important because I feel like as you are new and starting off this journey, or you've been around for a while, it's kind of like you getting a little bit deeper insight to your friend called Tithely or Breeze. So, first of all, we are customer centric, which means that simply what it means. We put you as the customer center to all that we do, whether it's adding products, changing products, growing products. We do all of that with you, the customer, in mind. With that in mind, we are innovative. I guess that's probably one of our big strengths here at Tidely is that we are always looking to innovate our products to best serve the church with our tech products. So, in addition, my favorite one of all is transparent. Is that there's nothing that we hide behind the curtain, that we are transparent in all that we do here, whether that's transparent in our products and what we promise, transparent in prices, etc. Love that we are transparent with all of our customers. We're also solution motivated. As technology is constantly changing, adapting, growing. As a company, we remain solution motivated to continue to adapt as things evolve. And finally, we are partnered and invested in your success. And friends, this webinar is proof of that we are partnered and invested in your success. So these are our values, and we are by your side for your growth. Want to introduce the team, small, mighty team here today. Drew will be sharing a little bit later today, and my name is Joey. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you today. Now let's take a look at our product suite. This is kind of exciting. Maybe you, as a customer, you kind of shuffled through and hustled to get some online giving as you're preparing for Easter, and you aren't aware of all of the products that we offer in-house. So this is just an overview of what we offer here at Tithely. If you happen to have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We would be happy to answer any questions you have about any of these products that you see here. And last housekeeping thing, there is a Q&A option for you. You can ask these questions anytime throughout the webinar, we will address those questions at the end. So please don't hesitate to ask any and all questions. That's why we're here. We're here to help. So introduction, what we will cover today. We're going to cover volunteer management, look at service planning, and then Drew's going to hop in and he's going to talk about communicating about Easter Sunday or your Easter weekend at your church. So let's just go ahead and hop on in. What do you say? What do you say, Drew? Is that cool?
Go for it.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
Sounds good. So here we are, volunteer management. So as you're in your Breeze account, from your Easter event that you have created, you're simply going to select volunteers. And then from that following screen, you're going to have the option to set up roles, leaders, number of volunteers, and or teams. And then from there, you're going to assign or invite those volunteers to that specific event that they're volunteering for. So I have a demo account here. Let's go ahead and hop on in and take a look at how you can do that yourself. So from events here, you're going to want to be sure to click add event and create that Easter event if you haven't already, but I have done that. So let's click on this item here to go to April. Click
20th.
on that Easter event there. And now you'll see this screen gives you the option to view the details of the event. Service plan, we'll take a look at that in just a minute, but we're going to click on volunteers here. Now, as you do, you can define the volunteer roles needed for this specific event. Now, this is not just confined to your Easter event. You could do this for every single Sunday event or any other event that you have. So just keep that in mind. You could add optional details like role leaders or number of volunteers needed for each role. So examples of role names could be something like greeters, worship team, ushers, etc. However you want to define those or name those based off of the culture of your church, you can definitely plug those in as needed. And then you also have the option to set a specific role as the role leader. Now you'll see this little eye icon here. If you hover over that, it will show you that reminders will be sent from a roles leader, and RSVP notifications will be sent to the roles leader as well. So for example, let's say we had an usher and you wanted to switch this person to a role leader. You can do that. You have to, select the person profile that's already in here and then add them. But once you select them as the roles leader, as you select them from the roles leader, then that person will get a reminder. A reminder will be sent from the roles leader, and then that role leader, in addition to that, will also receive RSVP notifications when all of your volunteers, accept or decline that they are available for that specific role. And one thing to mention, I forgot to mention this, you can assign your role leaders in the user section. As you can see right here where it says Mark Rhodes or Tithely Success, these two are essentially added in the user admin section of your settings. So just keep that in mind that you could add those role leaders there. And then lastly, if you wanted to set the amount of ushers for this specific role, if you wanted to set the amount of volunteers needed for this specific role, you could select on none set and then choose the amount that you want. Maybe you wanted 15 ushers for this one Easter service. You wanted to roll deep on usher. You could select that amount. One thing to mention as well is you could also set up group roles by teams. So if you were to select this, you can add in this team, and let's say you wanted to add in the worship team, and under the worship team, like you could say you wanted an acoustic guitar,
Drums.
drums, and I don't know, bass. Everybody loves that bass, right? And then you could add other roles if you would like. And then you have the option to add another team here. So let's say you wanted to add, let's say hospitality or something like that. And you could click on add a new role to this team. Oh, add a new role. There we are. And let's say greeter was that. And you wanted to come in here, 15 acoustic guitars. Let's just leave that. That would be a pretty cool Easter service.
That's for a mega church there.
Yeah, right. But you don't have to use this group roles by teams option. This is definitely not required for your volunteer management, but just know that this is an option. And then I accidentally added that. So as you could see over here, there's this pencil icon where you could select that and it will allow you to edit it. Or in this case, what's appropriate is we're going to hit this X item, which will delete that. We'll hit OK. And there you can see that it's deleted that. So let's go ahead and continue to add volunteers. So as we do that, this is where you can go about assigning volunteers to those roles, or you can invite them. Now, the difference is if you would like to assign my volunteers to specific roles, this would give you the option who's overseeing these services, administrating these services. Essentially, you're just going to assign those people, and then they will get notifications that they have been assigned to that role. In the case, maybe you're assigning, one acoustic guitar player of the 15 acoustic guitar players that you want, you can assign them to that. Or you can invite them. Inviting them gives them the option to accept that they are indeed going to assume that role, or they can decline that they are not available to volunteer for that role that you have plugged them into. So if you were to click on assign here, let's just go ahead and take a quick look at that. As you can see, we're now looking at the header of worship, and there's acoustic here. If you were to click on add volunteers, let's go ahead, and I know Fred Flintstone is in here, my friend Fred. We can go ahead and select that. And now you can see right here where it says add to acoustic. You're going to assign one of 15 acoustic players. I think we went a little too much on that. That's just kind of funny. But let's just go ahead and add Fred there to that. And as you could see, Fred has been assigned to this. Now, if something else to point out, you'll notice that there are 14 more acoustic guitar players needed, that there is one assigned. In addition to that, you'll also notice that these reminders currently are set to one reminder going out to all of the volunteers. You as an admin have the option to edit that. So if I were to click into that, you'll notice that one reminder is set out. If you wanted 2 reminders to go out or 3, you could simply just select all of these to note that 3 reminders are going to set out. And as you could see, this reminder sends 3 days before the event. This one is 6 days, and this one is set to 12 days. You can customize each of the reminders that go out by clicking on customize to the right of that reminder. So let's say we want to click on customize for that reminder number 1. It says, send this reminder 3 days before the event. Here's that subject. This is the subject line of that email that's going to go out. And then the body of the email that goes out. So, hi, first name. This is a friendly reminder that you're scheduled to fill the whatever role that is at whatever the name of the event is on the event date, whatever that event date is. And then lastly, down here, you have some further options to configure your settings however you choose to. So allow volunteers to RSVP to this message, also send this reminder as a text message. And last option would be to only send to volunteers who have not RSVP'd. So for example, maybe you don't want to harass Fred, who's faithful Fred, are also friend Fred, and you only want these to go out to those who have not RSVP'd. So you can deselect that and just select that one and kind of harass, slacker Susan.
Yeah.
But just keep that in mind that you have some options there to set those configurations. And then lastly, as far as volunteers is, you have the options to send these schedules out to your volunteers. So you could select that and it'll send this schedule out to them via email. Something to note is if you select this down, this icon here next to send to volunteers, it gives you a few more options where you can download this schedule as a PDF. You could print those out and have those prepared weeks before or the day of the event, in this case, the day of your Easter service. You can also download this schedule, email volunteers, send block out date requests. You can modify roles if you'd like. And lastly, you could switch this assign roles to invite mode. Again, that assign roles is you're simply just assigning them and then they're going to be plugged in there. Or you could switch this here to invite mode, which then switches it to where your volunteers that you're plugging in will have that option to accept or decline the position that you have assigned them to. All right, so let's hop back into the deck here. Let's talk about service planning. Service planning. So from your Easter event, you're going to select service plan. So from that dashboard that we looked at where you found volunteers, you're going to select service plan. And then from there, you'll be able to manage templates, items, and sections. And then lastly, you can we'll talk about sharing those plans. So let's hop back into that demo account. If I click on events here, you're going to find that specific Easter event. Click on Easter. And then you'll see service plan in the upper right-hand corner. Click on service plan. Now, this brings you to a blank slate, which is perfectly fine. You'll have the option here to add sections, which will essentially be things like intro, worship, sermon, prayer time, something along those lines. So for example, let's go ahead and just begin adding those in. So maybe you wanted to say greeting for that service. And then after that, let's click on worship. Maybe you wanted to put in prayer. And maybe because this is a Easter service, you have kind of a drama that you have in between the worship and sermon. You could add that in there as a section as well. And lastly, just for the sake of time, we could put in sermon. Now, you can see even in between each of those sections that there are items that you can add in. So for example, you wanted to add in a general item, which would just be simply that. You could add in a scripture, you could add in a song, or you can add in a note. So let's go ahead and select general. And under general, let's say you wanted to say greet new people. And you can add a description in there if you'd like. Now, this attachment will be for those who are leading this specific greeting time. And they could have the option to see whatever is attached here prior to the event of whatever. So maybe you're going to share a video during this greeting time and you wanted whoever is leading this greeting time to be able to preview that little video, you could upload that video there. You could also choose to add a link to URL, but let's go ahead and hit save. As you could see, that has been added. And then let's come down to worship and prayer. Let's go ahead and hit add item there. And let's say we wanted to open up prayer, worship and prayer with the scripture. Let's see, let's say we wanted to open up with Psalm 23. You could put that in there. And if you wanted to put a link for that scripture in there, you could. There we are. And then add one more item. Let's go ahead and add a song. So let's add the song title. He is risen. You could select this item here to put in a preview for that song. And then description, you can also select the key of that song. So let's just select the key of C. And then right here in attachments, you could put in the chord chart for that song. Any other things that's relevant for this specific song for the worship team. And then you could put in a URL here for the song that you guys are going to be leading, giving people something to listen to for the worship team to be able to listen to as they're practicing that song. So we can go ahead and hit that. Something else I haven't been pointing out, you also have the option to put a duration of that. So let's say you wanted this specific song to be 4 minutes exactly. You could put that in there and leave that as 4. We'll go ahead and hit save, and you'll notice that changed over here where it says 4 minutes total. Obviously, worship and prayer hopefully will not be 4 minutes in total, but just giving you an idea of that's something that you can configure and play around with. Lastly, something to mention is that you have the option to drag and drop your order. So maybe you wanted a last minute change or something like that. You wanted Psalm 23 to come in and be the end of your worship and prayer time. You could drag and drop that as you like. Something else to note is that you have the option from this specific service planning. You can email this out to all of the volunteers that have been scheduled. You can also download this service plan and have this ready to be shared with those who show up on that Easter morning or whenever your Easter service is. And then lastly, some more options. You could save this, you could print it, or you could save it as a template for future services. You could print it. And then lastly, you can clear all and wipe all. Maybe you are just completely unhappy with all of this, and you could just clear all and do that. So that is service planning. Now let's go ahead. Drew, do you want to share your screen or do you want me to navigate?
Go ahead and navigate, and then
Sure.
I'll switch over to my demo. Communication to the church about Easter and Easter weekend is huge, huge, huge. Joey and I both volunteer at our churches, so we know how important it is to communicate to your members, your visitors, anyone you have on your list about Easter Sunday. So we could plan, we could have a good service plan, we could have a great event outlined, but if we don't nail down the communicating to our church about Easter Sunday, we're going to miss it. So Breeze is here to help you out on that. There's 2 ways of actually communicating. I think 2 resources that are great when it comes to using Breeze. And if we could go to the next slide, Joey. That would be text messaging and emailing. And the great thing about both of them is you could schedule these text messages and emails. So if you're looking to schedule something for a Thursday or Friday to go out, you could do that. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the things that you could do with communicating. Let me share my screen here. Joy, screen's on there? I believe so.
Looks good.
Okay, perfect. So this is my demo account, and I'm going to come over to people. And let's say this is everybody at my church. I have 66 people in my church. Some of them are members, some of them are visitors. and we are going to email all of them. There's a few options I wanted to show you here. When it comes to email, you have a choice of either sending out a basic email, which is just, you have the subject line, and then you have the body of the email here. You could insert a few photos if you need to. And so this is great. Once you do this, Easter Sunday, it tells you how many people that email will be going out to. You could send it at a later time, or you could send it now. So if you want to schedule this on Thursday of Easter week, you could do that as well. But the other great thing too is if you come back to email and design, there's a number of templates that you could actually use that Breeze has rolled out in the last year that allows you to be able to communicate with your members with some beautifully designed templates, which allows you to easily, let me show you as it loads. You could insert your own pictures. It has headers already, everything all set up to be able to send out those Easter Sunday emails out to your members and letting them know about your services. If there's a time change, if there's going to be a special movie or special clip or special drama, like Joy was mentioning, those are all things that you want to be able to communicate with your members about Easter Sunday. Easter is known around church world as the Super Bowl of church world, where it's like one of the most important Sundays. More people are open to an invitation to come to church. And so it's important that you use the resources available in Breeze to be able to communicate to your people. And also wanted to show you, you could also send out a text message. And with the text message, you could link a photo, you could insert a link, or you could also schedule this for a later time. So if you wanted to work on this now, since Easter's right around the corner, and have all of this ready and set up, you could actually schedule it so it sends out at a specific time in the future. And so if I wanted to send out something on Thursday, April 17th, the Thursday before, I could do that. And so this is one of the great ways, or one of the great resources that Breeze has to offer in regards to communicating about Easter Sunday. We are trying our best to make sure the stress is taken away from admin like yourself. We know you guys have a lot of planning going on, a lot of things happening, and it can feel like a stressful time. And we hope that with this webinar and with some of the resources that we provided today, that we are able to just sort of take some of that stress away and make life easier for you guys as you guys prepare for that Sunday.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and that is pretty much all I have on my end, Joy.
That's
Any
great.
comments or questions?
Yeah, time for Q&A. Let's see if we have any in the chat box, and it looks like there are no questions.
Awesome.
That must mean we did something pretty good, I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
And if you, oh, go ahead, Joy.
oh no, go ahead, Drew.
No, I was going to say, if you do have any questions or concerns, feel free to write in to support at breezechms.com. We are here to help, to serve. And like I mentioned, to make life easier for you guys. So you need a phone call, you need to set up a meeting, you have questions before Easter, let us know. We're here to help.
Yeah. Absolutely. And please do, if you're on Facebook, join our Facebook groups as well. The reason being is you could stay in the know of all the things that are coming as far as Tithely products, rollouts, expansions, things that you just want to be in the know of. But then also you have a community of finding other people who use Breeze and who use Tithely products and bouncing things off. It's a great time on those Facebook groups, so please do join those. And as Drew mentioned, thank you so much for joining us today. It means so much. May God bless you in your preparation and on the day of Easter. We'll see you next time.